It's shocking how much work there is to do, even for the three of us.
And she's been handling it alone all along. The Qixing secretary clearly isn't an
You're just...
Aren't you Ningguang's servants? How come you're here?
We are Miss Ningguang's private secretaries, not servants.
Have you seen Miss Ganyu, Traveler? It has been several days since Ganyu left for Joyun Karst. She's the general secretary of the Liyue Qixing.
Even though the Qixing have made peace with the Adepti after the latter had denounced Liyue, they still want to pay. They commissioned Ganyu as their envoy to deliver a letter to Joyun Karst and bring the Adept. Still, Ganyu should have been back to her usual response.
Is that so? Maybe Ganyu just took a little...
I'm afraid it's not very likely. Ever since we met Ms. Ganyu, even when it's time for her annual leave, Ms. Ganyu stays on duty at Yuahai. She couldn't possibly be using her mission as an excuse to slack.
Oh, Paimon sees how it is. But she's half Adeptus. She wouldn't get in trouble.
It's because of this absurd work... When we first heard the three of us would be taking over for Miss Ganyu,
we couldn't have imagined that Miss Ganyu's daily workload far exceeds what the three of us are used to doing.
We don't even know how long we've been working. We feel guilty for taking even a short breather like we are now.
Looks like you got a serious emergency on your hands.
Speaking of Joyun Karst, Traveler...
Of course! We've been there lots of times.
That's good news. Could you go to Joyun Karst and find Miss Ganyu for us? Preferably before we collapse under this workload. We're saved. I remember Miss Ganyu said...
It's about time she came back to work.
No, perhaps we should go to Lady Ningguang first and bring up our overtime pay again.
So Ganyu left to visit Cloud Retainer. Doesn't she live in Mount Aozong? We should hurry up. Paimon hopes we can find her there.
Cool it.
Ganyu, here you are.
You two. I did not expect to meet you here. Is it official or private affairs? I shouldn't. I have left the human world. Please contact the Yuahai Pavilion regarding matters concerning the commercial...
Huh? You don't want to be the Qixing secretary anymore?
But that's why you're here? You want me to come back? I'm afraid you came here in vain.
What? Did something happen?
The clouds fold and unfold. The tide ebbs and flows. When the Adepti entrusted humans with overseeing Liyue, my Adepti blood makes me unwelcome in Liyue Harbor. I delivered the letter and came back to Liyue Harbor, only to discover that I had been replaced by Baiwen, Baixiao, and Baishi. Perhaps that mission of mine was just a pretext to remove me. Since the Qixing gave me a chance to leave with dignity, I appreciate your kindness, but there's no need for your word. After 1,000 years away, I came back to Joyun Karst.
But...
Who disturbs the peace of these mountains?
Cloud Retainer, we're terribly sorry. We just...
One merely jests. One felt your presence the moment...
Wow, you Adepti really are impressive.
Come here to chat about the old times with Ganyu. It looks like you get along quite well. A matter leaves you at an impasse then. Not to worry. One is exceptional at seeking avenues for conversation. One has been one's own companion in idle talk for many a year. Yes. Since you are Ganyu's friends, tales from her youth shall one apprise you of, perhaps?
Oh, Cloud Retainer.
Nothing to be ashamed of. You were so cute as a child. One is most certain that your friends would like to hear of it.
Oh, Paimon wants to hear it.
Little Ganyu loved when the horns on the top of her head were caressed. When one was still taking care of her, one was pestered most often to touch her horns.
Wow!
Plump she was back then. Why, when she stumbled while we ascended the mountain, she would roll down to the bottom like a little ball. The day Ganyu bumped into a pilgrim was the first time she saw a real human in the flesh. So fearful she was that she hid in a rock's cleft for 2 days and nights. One found her wailing of a
Cloud Retainer? Forget it. It's about time for my training. I will take my leave.
Ah, one's intention was merely to relieve the awkward tension.
And you did the exact opposite. Impressive!
Be that so? Huh, but returning to Ganyu, most gladdened, one cannot help but feel that remaining in Jueyun, one will tell you more about her. Most benevolent among all Adepti are the Qilin. They drink only spring water and eat only whole grain. But perhaps the mountainous dwellings of Adepti in Jueyun Karst might be too lonely for her human side. Under moonlight did one see her last. She stood by the precipice's edge, and upon the mist-veiled mountains she gazed. Her thin figure was immersed in the vast sea of clouds. One noticed her loneliness, and sought to convince her to go back to the human world. But just then, she said thus.
Liyue Harbor feels even lonelier than Jueyun Karst. When I look at the sea of clouds in Jueyun Karst, I merely feel the loneliness of a solitary cloud gazer. When I step into the sea of people in Liyue, I feel the loneliness of an inhuman that doesn't belong in the human world.
One did, by chance, hear this much of Ganyu's thoughts. Alone, she will find her predicament hard to conquer.
Oh, Retainer's right. We can't leave Ganyu depressed like that. Besides, Liyue hasn't given up on her. She's got it all wrong. Anyways, what's that training Ganyu was talking about?
She has sought to reclaim her Adeptus side since returning to Jueyun Karst. At her behest, she should be in the southern part of Mount Aozang right now, preparing for the trial.
Huh, is that so? Let's go take a look then.
Freeze!
This trial will test her. Even so, one hopes that it shall trouble her little.
Oh, here you are, Ganyu.
Why did you come here? Is that so? This trial was prepared by Cloud Retainer. Its goal is to help me feel like an Adeptus again. The training is much to her signature style. I hope it won't make...
Is it difficult?
No, I'm aware of your strength, Traveler. If you're ready, we shall...
Dodge this!
There's a lot of gliding around. It does feel like something Cloud Retainer would come up with. awesome shooter!
If you could see through the eyes of an Adeptus, you wouldn't be so surprised. We've completed the task. What do you think? I agree. You possess many qualities similar to those of Adepti. Despite—
Ganyu, what were you planning to do once you
The training's not over yet. The part prepared by Clep—
Huh? So there are more trials prepared by other Adepti?
No. The only Adeptus who can unlock my true—
Who is it?
Conqueror of Demons.
Huh. So it's Xiao. That cold-hearted loner? How come he's prepared a trial for you?
I found him unapproachable at first, too. But he's already waiting for me. Come along if you're interested.
Of course we are! Let's go!
Delve into destiny.
You're half an hour late. I see you still haven't abandoned the—
I'm sorry. I had a meeting with Cloud Retainer.
I don't need your explanations and don't require any mutual understanding between us. I'm just
Xiao is such a strict teacher.
You're neither an Adeptus nor a human. Always treading the line instead of explaining yourself to me.
I have nothing to hide.
The body and the mind are one. If something worries you, the trial I've prepared for you will explore the true potential—
Yes. I'm ready.
Focus on the trial. I'm not here for idle chatter.
The trial's begun! Paimon can feel it in the air. Even the weather's changed. At the fry pan, you're toast!
As a dutiful maid ruler, I must leave no stone unturned. I'll catch up.
Dodge this!
Delve into
So sorry. Dodge this!
Born of ice and fire.
Nice and spicy!
Dodge this!
Race you!
Blaze over.
Freeze! This spot will be frozen.
Decided by destiny.
Out of the frying pan, into the Delve into death. Get them!
Born of ice and frost.
Cool it! Oh, so sorry.
Time to clean up.
Written in the stars.
Freeze!
Blaze over.
This one will be frozen. Cool it!
Shadows of fate. As a dutiful maid woman.
Fate is upon you.
Born of ice and frost. Someone needs assistance.
Dodge this!
Born of ice and frost. This is long overdue.
Freeze! Oh, so sorry.
Get them! You're toast!
I've completed your trial.
You don't have to report back to me. Seeking other people's validation won't benefit your training. Only you can evaluate the result of this trial.
Understood.
Xiao always has such strong opinions.
From tomorrow on, I'll start raising the difficulty of your training, so you'll have to...
Have to do what?
Another one of those pesky visitors. I'll leave him to you, Ganyu. It's also a part of your training.
Pesky visitor? So even here there are those that Xiao can't deal with?
Oh heavens! Blessed be Rex Lapis! I've finally come upon the Adepti! Are all of you the Adepti of this mountain? Great! My name's Sin Chung. I came to ask for your merciful blessings, O Adepti.
Oh, so it's a pilgrim. He can handle any battle, but talking to strange humans is a different story.
I am also one of the Adepti. You can say that I'm an Adeptus in training.
Perfect! I didn't come in vain then. Although you sound a bit... What blessings can you grant me?
Wow, straight to the point, huh?
Dear Pilgrim, you shouldn't jump to conclusions.
For free? Do you mean that you charge people for the blessings of the
That's not what I meant. What I'm trying to say is that everything should be... It would be unfair to other people if you got everything you...
Hold on. I've heard this all before. You're just like my old man, always nagging me.
Your father must have experienced it firsthand. The lives of the common folk are... A person of your age should focus on work and family, instead of chasing...
Are you a real Adeptus? Why do you speak and behave like us city? You sure you're not one of those swindlers who pose as an Adeptus to cheat people out of their money? Ugh, how dare you reprove me? I bet you came here looking for the Adepti yourself.
He might sorta have a point. We did come here looking for Ganyu.
Enough. Doesn't matter if you're a real Adeptus or not. You're useless.
Nobody's stopping you. Ganyu, don't let that guy ruin your mood.
It's not his behavior. I thought that coming back to Jueyun Karst and devoting myself to training would make... But being questioned by him made me realize that I... But... I'm unwelcome in Liyue Harbor. As an Adeptus,
It's true! Just believe us!
Alright. I'll go with you to Liyue Harbor, if I'm proven right.
It's a step in the right direction. Let's go!
The sound of the smell of the sea breeze makes me nostalgic.
Ganyu, you didn't leave Liyue for that long. Why do you look so moved?
Well, I used to be so busy.
Huh. That's true. Ganyu's...
Well, when I think about my time here, it put me in a certain mood. Similar to the one I felt during...
Why, isn't it little Miss Ganyu? I wouldn't have thought I'd meet you here.
This old man called her Little Miss Ganyu.
Allow me to introduce Uncle Tian. He is...
That's all right. Just tell them the truth. They have done so much for Liyue after all.
Uncle Tian is a member of the Liyue Qixing, the Tianshu.
What? This grandpa is a member of the Qixing? The same rank as Ningguang?
Hush now. I must ask for your discretion concerning my identity. Fishing in the port and strolling about are the greatest pleasures of my life. I have no... In most people's eyes, I'm just a forgetful and...
Uncle Tian is too modest. He's been around for a long time. There's no one who can replace a person of such noble character.
Oh, little Miss Ganyu.
Uncle Tian, a person of your standing should really stop calling me Little Miss Ganyu.
Oh, my apologies. It's not intentional, just a thank you for looking after me when I first
Oh, so you've been friends for...
Oh, I was just fulfilling my duties as the Qixing
Talking about secretaries... Oh, I don't know if I should bring it up.
Yes, she works at Yuehai Pavilion and she's my junior.
I don't know myself, really. May I trouble you to meet her at Yuehai Pavilion?
With pleasure. Solving the Qixing's problems has always been in...
She's back in character. Just like that, huh? Let's move then, to Yuehai Pavilion.
Miss Ganyu, it's been too long. I don't know why, but seeing you brings me a sense of...
Indeed, it has been a while, Weishin. I heard that you've encountered some problems, and...
My father asked, abusing his status as a member of the Qixing to trouble...
Don't worry. I'm always happy to help a junior colleague from Yuehai Pavilion.
Ganyu's not only a competent secretary, but also a great mentor.
So, what can you tell me about the problem?
Where should I start? There are obvious irregularities in the tax declarations of two stores, Second Life and Wanyo Boutique. Without any evidence, my hands are tied.
I see. It's not uncommon for merchants to be blinded by greed.
Well, is there any solution you can advise?
Naturally. I've dealt with similar issues hundreds of times. Give me a moment to consider the best approach in this scenario. All right. Let's approach it this way, then. Your enemy knows you best.
Huh?
If I remember correctly, Second Life and Wanyo Boutique are old business rivals, competing for market share due to their similar wares. In that case...
In that case... I know what you mean, Miss Ganyu.
Exactly. Let's start with Wanyo Boutique. The owner's name is... Bolai, isn't it?
Yes, you're right.
Scry the sky.
Aha! We meet again, traveler. And you must be from the I suppose you're about to place a big order.
That won't be necessary, Mr. Bolai. Wanyo Boutique's credit is not sufficient to accept orders. Should we need to place such an order, we would certainly go to Second Life instead.
What? Second Life? Ugh. That rascal Dongsheng. He's stealing all of my customers.
Well, Second Life's credit has always been excellent, and based on their tax records, their business...
Tax records? Thriving?
Huh. Is there anything you'd like to share with us, Mr. Bolai?
Don't let that rascal fool you. I know his dirty tricks best. If you don't believe me, show me his tax records. I'm sure I'll find some...
You know Second Life's business so well?
Of course. Ugh, their every transaction makes my blood... I'd rather lose money myself than see that rascal make some.
Well then, please look over this tax record. We'll review Second Life's credit based on your observations.
Oh, of course. I'll read very, very carefully. Line by line and word by word. Ah, here, I found it! That exquisite wooden furniture set he bought from Fanmu Carpenters at the beginning of the year. Look at the tax record. Not a word about that furniture. And he kept all the profit for himself.
I see. He must have gotten rid of all the documents related to this transaction. No wonder there was no trace of it.
I told you so. Just as I expected. Ugh, I can't wait.
But, Ms. Ganyu, despite all this, can't he just flat out deny—
He might have destroyed all the evidence, but I believe the supplier, Fanmu Carpenters, might still have some proof of it.
Aha, you're right. Master Lu from Fanmu Carpenters must still have the invoice.
I hope so. Let's go to Fanmu Carpenters. It should be near Chingsa Village. Thank you for shining a light on this case, Mr. Bolai.
Oh, please, that's nothing. I just hope you won't be lenient with him once you find the evidence.
I'm afraid I can't go to Chingsa Village.
It's all right, Baishi. You can stay in Liyue Harbor and finish your work.
Oh, that's so considerate of you.
Ah, welcome, welcome. How can an old carpenter like... I am usually happy to take new apprentices, but
Chingsa really is full of lonely old people.
Hey, I heard that, Flying One.
I'm sorry.
Master Lu, we've just come to see you and ask you some questions.
Don't worry, I know. You're from the Yuehai Pavilion, right? Why would the Qixing care about an old man like me?
You're very direct, Master Lu. I will be plain. Dongsheng bought some furniture from you at the beginning of the year. Do you still have the invoice or any other...
Oh, it's about Second Life. It was a...
Sure enough, Mr. Bolai was right. Could we perhaps borrow that invoice? We won't have any evidence to bring against
Of course you can. But I'm not so sprightly anymore.
What's that supposed to mean?
I only do my woodwork and display finished. As for old documents and such, I keep them all in a warehouse west of here. But some troublemakers have recently moved there. Since you need that invoice anyway, it may be best to get it from the warehouse yourself. And while
So that's what happened. I see.
I'll leave you to it then.
Take back the warehouse, find the invoice. Time for us to show our stuff in a fight.
Wait, I think I saw one of those troublemakers. Ah, over there.
Oh, Paimon sees them too. It's one of the Fatui.
They must be plotting something against Liyue Harbor.
Maybe they're the scoundrels who invaded Master Lu's warehouse.
Ever since Osial attacked the harbor, the Fatui's reputation in Liyue has reached rock bottom. We won't cause a serious diplomatic crisis, besides, I can already feel their malicious intentions. Consider it my intuition as the secretary of the Qixing.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's go teach him a lesson. Delve into destiny. Fate is upon you.
As a good night show.
Nice and spicy.
Freeze!
Let me scoop.
I must leave no stone unturned.
Oh, you scoundrels!
I think you've had enough. About time you tell us your plan.
Plan? What plan?
We just taught you a lesson, but clearly you weren't paying attention. If you don't spill whatever you're scheming against Liyue, we'll be forced to use harsher methods.
I'm telling the truth. There's no scheme.
If you're telling the truth, then why would you, a member of the Fatui...
Fine. If you really want to know, then, well, I was about to.
About to... what?
Pick berries over there.
I must admit, I didn't expect you to come up with such a silly excuse.
It's not an excuse. I rarely have a free morning, and I heard that there were fresh berries in this area. Think about it. I'm here alone, and Jinxa Village is nothing more than a retirement spot for old people. What could I be scheming anyway?
Judging by how he's looking at us, it does seem like he feels like he's the victim here.
So you have nothing to do with the occupation of Fanmu Carpenter's warehouse?
Fanmu Carpenter's warehouse? Where's that? I swear, I only came here to pick berries, that's all.
So it wasn't the Fatui who took over Master Lu's warehouse after all.
I also feel that he's telling the truth. I misjudged the situation and offended you. My apologies. Our exchange only represents my personal views. If you wish it so, you can file a complaint to the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
Exchange? This woman, she's clearly aware that the Ministry of Civil Affairs wouldn't side with us Fatui.
Yes, precisely. As an alternative, you may try to solve this problem with force once again.
Paimon's in!
Darn you. How can you wear that solemn face while bullying me like this?
What's your choice, then?
I'll get back to my berries.
What a bittersweet ending.
I made a laughingstock out of myself. I might have spent too much time away from work.
No worries. It's always nice to teach the Fatui a lesson.
Let's keep moving towards Master Lu's warehouse.
So this is the warehouse. Seems like those troublemakers were nothing more than a few hill churros. Let's show them what we got.
This will be frozen.
Fate is upon you. As a dutiful maid will. Let me scrub.
Dodge this! Dodge this! Don't get frostbite!
Shadows of...
Freeze!
Delve into depth. Written in the stars. Right, Piggy, eat this! Time to clean up.
Cool it! This one will be frozen!
Boba, get them! Someone needs assistance. I'll catch up.
Cool it!
Shadows of fate. Nice and spicy. Steady as stone. All clear. Quick, let's look around for the invoice. This one is an invoice from One Min Restaurant. Some dining tables and chairs. That's not it. This one is Wangsheng Funeral Parlors. Oh, so they make coffins too. This one is Second Lives. We finally found it. Let's bring this invoice back to Huishin.
Isn't it Huixin from the Yuehai Pavilion? I told you that all of my transactions are included in the records. My tax declarations are scrupulous as well. I do hope that my business won't be affected by any groundless accusations.
Groundless accusations? Mr. Dongsheng, you seem very sure of yourself. But I sincerely advise that you cease this behavior immediately.
No. I'm an honest merchant. I would never get involved with any fraudulent sources of profit.
Haven't I made myself clear? Mr. Dongsheng, you've already been proven guilty of tax evasion.
What? Proven guilty? How come? That's impossible. Absolutely.
He's talking without rhyme or reason. Must be crumbling under Ganyu's pressure. Time for the finishing blow!
Mr. Dongsheng, can you tell me what this is?
It's an invoice from Fanmu Carpenters. I'm Master Lu. I didn't...
Do you admit to tax evasion? This transaction was absent from the tax record.
I didn't think you'd find out. I didn't leave a single trace.
Indeed. We wouldn't have found out if it weren't for Mr. Boalai's aid.
beautiful lie? That imp from Wanyo Boutique? So he told on me behind my back. He's got his own share of dirty laundry.
Oh? Mr. Dongsheng, I'd like to hear a little more about this dirty laundry. I don't think you'll need my guidance for what comes next.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Ganyu. I can take it from here.
That's good.
I must say, you're truly impressive. Your enemy knows you best. To think, you came up with this plan and executed it so masterfully.
It's actually one of your father's, the Tianshu's, old tricks. I just took some inspiration from it.
My father?
Pitting your opponent against their enemies and watching them drag each other down from an advantageous position. That's how Uncle Tian managed to keep his position in the Qixing secure for so many years. I figured that as Uncle Tian's daughter, you'd naturally grasp your father's strategies. So, I decided to use one of your father's tricks and play it out for you to see.
I can see it now. Clearly, I'm really grateful, Ms. Ganyu. You're the kindest mentor I've ever had.
Ganyu solved both Huishin's work and family problems. 2 birds with 1 stone.
Oh, you've helped me so much. You must...
That's not necessary.
Then let me treat you to a meal. The Traveler and Paimon are invited as well. I appreciate your help.
All right, come on, Ganyu. Just say yes. Let's eat. Oh, come on. It's just a meal.
If it's just a meal, there's no reason for me to decline. It'll be my pleasure.
Actually, I've already booked Senor Kiosk. I need a moment to prepare everything first. Let's meet there in a while.
All right. We dare not refuse such generosity.
Miss Ganyu, thank you for accepting my invitation. And as for the 2 of you, your
Sure.
That's so kind of you, Huishin. You went to great lengths to organize this.
Truth be told, apart from thanking you for all the help...
Oh? If there's anything I can help you with, just tell me straight away.
Oh, no, I don't really need help. Could you just listen for a bit?
With pleasure.
When I was a little girl, my father used to tell me many stories about you, Miss Ganyu. Even though I have the utmost respect for my father, I always admired how gentle and reliable you are. I've only decided to join the Yuhai Pavilion staff because I've always looked up to you.
I didn't know that you think so highly of me.
However, in reality, working at the Yuhai Pavilion, I can't compare myself to such an outstanding secretary like you.
I disagree. You're a great secretary in your own right.
Thank you. Over the years, I became a mother, too.
Huh? So Uncle Tian is a grandpa!
Influenced by my youthful ideals, she followed my footsteps and came to be... At first, I was worried about her. It's not an easy job, after all. But after all that happened this time, I've made up my mind to support her choice.
So, what made you change your mind?
The fact that she'll have you, Ms. Ganyu, as her senior colleague. You'll help her, gentle as always, and tell her it'd be such a beautiful moment. If it's not too much to ask for, she might still need your guidance in 20+ years, too.
Huishin, I never thought that I meant so much to you.
Just like when you showed me my father's trick. Having you as their witness makes people feel at ease.
Witness? It's true that I've witnessed thousands of years of Liyue Harbor's history. All the changes it's gone through, but I've always regarded it as nothing more than the source of my loneliness. Huishin, you don't know how important those words are to me. You've made me realize that I share another connection with the people of Liyue Harbor. Apart from they rely on me. Accept me.
Of course. You're irreplaceable to us.
That's right. That's why I can't disappoint you.
Hooray! Ganyu's finally cheered up!
Even if I've really been supplanted, I wish to I won't let you down. I'm going to fulfill my contract and keep working as the Qixing's secretary. Regardless, I'll go back and see for myself. I'm afraid that it might have all become a mess during my absence. No time to waste. Let's get back to work.
Good luck, Miss Ganyu.
We're leaving already? Paimon's still hungry.
Baishi, are you okay? Did you fall asleep standing up? Look! Look who's back!
You even have enough time for leisure? It seems you three are a suitable replacement for me after all.
Not at all. We've been working for too long. We wouldn't have survived long enough to see you again, Miss Ganyu.
Miss Ganyu, we've missed you.
That's so kind of you all, given we've only met once.
We've been praying day and night for you to return and take over your duties again.
To us, you're like an adeptus coming down to the human world to save all...
Forget all our envious complaints from before. Just free us from this strenuous work, please.
All right, I see. Please divide the matters at hand into government affairs, business affairs, and civil affairs. Mark out that I'll take care of the rest.
Of course. We'll do it right away.
Oh, finally. We're saved.
Yes. There's one more thing. I'd like to earnestly thank you, Traveler. If it weren't for your companionship, I would still... To think that I'd gained a human friend outside of work. I'd like to repay you when I'm done with the work at hand. What would you say if I...
Sure, but are you ever done with work, Ganyu?
Let's cross that bridge when we come to it, shall we?